I'm Stephanie McKendry, an Academic Development Tutor in the Learning Development Centre in the School of Health and Life Sciences. This short vidcast will talk you through the assessment process for mentorship preparation. In particular, I will look at the differences between submitting work at Academics Level 8 and Level 9. There are three potential pathways to the mentorship preparation course. The first is assessed at Level 8 and doesn't lead to any academic credits. The second is assessed at Level 9, but again doesn't bear any credit. And the third is assessed at Level 9 and, if passed, leads to the award of 20 credits. There's a fee for this latter route. As you can see from this table, in reality there isn't all that much difference between the three pathways. Remember that Level 9 can be taken as both non-accredited and accredited, however. They all lead to mentor status and annotation on the register. The difference is in the level of assessment, what you're expected to produce as coursework, and the academic standard expected of that written work. When choosing your pathway, it's essential to recognise the differences between them. There are a number of things you should look at when making your decision. A good place to start is with the learning outcomes. These are an important part of any course of learning. They are a list of everything you should understand and be able to do by the time you've finished. They summarise the entire contents of the course and make a valuable checklist as you get to the end. Can you say that you're able to do everything on that list? There are different learning outcomes for the two levels of the course. These are the learning outcomes for Level 8. They can be found in the Mentorship Preparation course handbook. The content of the learning outcomes is the same for Level 9. It covers the same material and knowledge. But what you're expected to do with that content is different. You don't just identify best evidence for number 2, for example. This would involve finding, describing and effectively referencing credible evidence. For Level 9, you have to examine this evidence, consider the strengths and limitations of the sources, explore why they might assist you to devise strategies, and so on. For number 7, you don't simply explain managing assessment in challenging situations. You have to critically appraise that management. So work out what's effective, then go on to examine why that might be the case, look at alternatives, draw upon relevant theories, etc. The assessments are also slightly different. Everyone must complete their portfolio of evidence, consisting of 8 narratives, one for each of the NMC domains. The second aspect of assessment varies depending on the pathway you choose. For Level 8, you must select one domain and write an in-depth reflective account. This should be presented in appropriate academic language and referenced throughout, so you should make sure that you provide evidence for everything that you say. You'll be given feedback on your account and a decision of pass or fail. For Level 9, you will complete 2 accounts, considering 2 separate domains. Again, these need to be evidenced and soundly structured. For Level 9, you'll be given feedback and a mark. Remember that for the 2 different levels, the standard of writing and the level of analysis required changes. Level 9 is marked to a higher standard than Level 8. More is expected of you. You can see these differences in the assessment matrices in the appendix of the handbook. These are tables showing what markers are looking for. If you compare the two, you can see that, like the learning outcomes, there is emphasis on critical engagement at Level 9. You can also see that what would have been an excellent at Level 8 becomes a good at Level 9. What was a good at Level 8 becomes a pass at 9. You're provided with the specific marking criteria that will be used to judge your reflective accounts. These are available as appendices in your handbook. They're worth looking at, not only when you choose your pathway, but also when you're writing your assessment and at the proofreading stage. What mark or feedback would you give your work? And does that tell you anything about any changes you should make? So for Level 8, you can see that it's vital you demonstrate reflection and underpin your account with supporting evidence. Here's the marking criteria for Level 9. There are some similarities. Both require a logical structure and appropriate writing style, and they both need to demonstrate knowledge and understanding. But, again, it's in the level of analysis that the difference emerges. You're now marked for critical reflection rather than just reflection. That isn't necessarily as difficult as it sounds. You're just being asked to consider, to a greater extent, why you acted or felt as you did. Can you draw on theories or evidence to explain? Can you offer an alternative understanding? You're also asked to underpin your accounts with evidence you've appraised. This is just asking you to really examine what you're reading. So don't think, what is this paper saying? Ask, why is it saying that? Where is the evidence? Is that credible or convincing? What are the implications? Do others say something different? The difference between the two levels is largely in the depth of analysis required from you. At level 9, you're expected to engage more critically with the topic. This basically means ask lots of questions. Don't just describe, and don't take anything at face value. So how do you decide on your pathway? I would advise you to look carefully through all of the documents I've been discussing so that you can make an informed choice. Think about your motivations. Do you want to improve your writing and analysis? Are the 20 credits important to you in your career? There is support to assist you in developing your academic skills, so please don't be put off if you don't think you currently write at level 9. The Learning Development Centre is the school's academic skills unit. We work with students to help them develop their academic abilities. We see students from first year right up to master's level. This is done through a mix of workshops, individual appointments and online support. Even if you're rarely, if ever, on campus, we can still discuss your assessment at our late night appointments, via email, phone or even Skype. Feel free to get in touch if you'd like support throughout the programme, particularly if you'd like support in writing at level 9.